Hey y'all, happy Friday. So I want to close out this week and close out our discussion on the breastplate of righteousness by giving you just a few nuggets about the breastplate. And some of the things I'm going to share with you come from Rick Renner's book, Dressed to Kill. And then next week we will start with the shoes of peace. Which is exciting. It's all exciting. It just is wonderful, wonderful things that the Lord has given to us to use as His children. Before I forget, like I have most of the days this week, I want to remind you that Tuesday, October 6th at 7:30 is our October Women in the Word. And this month we're going to do a face-to-face outdoor night of worship, and it's just going to be wonderful. So I pray that you'll be able to join us again 7:30, and it will be outside at the same place that all of our other Women in the Word have been. If you need the address, message me, email me, text me, and I'll be happy to give it to you. So that's 7:30, Tuesday, October 6th. Now, some information about the breastplate of righteousness. Now, it is or was the heaviest piece of armor that the soldier had. Rick talks about it could have been, at times it weighed in excess of 40 pounds. 40 pounds of a breastplate. Now this should indicate to you, this should really solidify the weight that righteousness carries. That when you walk in the righteousness of God, when you are conscious of His righteousness rather than conscious of who you used to be, that carries weight. And Goliath's breastplate was over 125 pounds. That's very, very heavy. Can you imagine? I mean, I can't even imagine wearing a breastplate that is 40 pounds, much less 125. And of course, it was made of two pieces of metal, large pieces of metal, one covering the front, one covering the back, and they were held together by large brass rings. And on these large pieces of metal, they had smaller pieces of metal that were almost like scales of a fish. And I tell you this because it's important to stay with me. So not only was the breastplate the heaviest piece of armor, but it was also the most beautiful and ornate. And it was brass, beautiful brass. But I did not know this. This was interesting to me. Brass, when it's worn, it becomes more beautiful and more brilliant and shines more. And so as these smaller pieces, those scale-like metal, as they began to rub together, as they were worn, they began to shine brighter. Now, tie all of those things together, that the more you walk in this breastplate of righteousness, the more brilliant it becomes, the more brighter you become, and the brighter you shine in a dark world. The more brilliant the light of Christ that is in you and on you shines in a dark world. And Rick says, you'll learn that your righteousness is not only a defensive weapon to protect you from the blows of the enemy, but it is also an offensive weapon to assist you to assault the enemy and take back lost territory. He also says this, which is just a great thought. And of course, the breastplate covers our internal organs, our heart. And when Satan would bring condemnation, believers who do not know that they are righteous are easy prey. And see, when you're not wearing that heavy coat, you have left yourself open to the blows of the enemy. And so we are not arrogant in because of being righteous. We are so grateful to the Lord for His righteousness, but we have to be conscious of who He is, not who we were. Again, the weight of that righteousness. I keep going back to that, but it is very, very important. And our mental attitude, this is something that you well know. Our mental attitude has everything to do with how well we perform in the midst of a fight. If you are mentally and emotionally defeated before you go into a fight, then you should not go. Why? Because your negative attitude has already determined the outcome of that battle. You will be defeated. But by developing an attitude of righteousness in your life and learning how to view yourself through the work of the cross. See, that's why it's not egocentric or arrogant. It's because we are viewing ourselves through the work of the cross. You will receive a divine impartation of confidence and boldness that will always put you on the winning side of victory. See, again, it's all about what Jesus has done. We no longer view ourselves as little, unimportant, or a defeated believer. We are so affected that our attitude changes and moves. And we renew our minds to that word, that He has made us righteous, and He has cleansed us, and He has put on He has put His robe of righteousness on us. We walk in Him. And so I pray that you have learned something about the breastplate of righteousness, and again, understanding that it's His work, and that it again, going back to the weight of it, that piece of armor weighing so much and carrying so much weight with it, that when we are in His righteousness, we are in right standing with God, and He has made all grace available to us for everything. Let's just read that. This is not necessarily about righteousness, but I feel so impressed. 2 Corinthians 9. When you are in right standing with the Father, this is 2 Corinthians 9 verse 8. And God is able to make all grace, every favor, and earthly blessing come to you in abundance, so that you may always and under all circumstances and whatever the need, be self-sufficient, possessing enough to require no aid or support, and furnished in abundance for every good work and charitable donation. You have been made the righteousness of God. You are in right standing with the King. Put it on, wear it, use it. May it shine brighter and brighter and brighter in this world. All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.